So today we are going to be learning about business vocabulary and tips to develop your vocabulary. That is also a part of it. Okay, so let's see what we will learn. Why do we need to develop our vocabulary? Tips on how to develop your vocabulary, business vocabulary basics, and there is a reading exercise. This reading exercise is sort of like a group, sort of like our, kind of a practical sort of a thing so that you also feel engaged. It's not just me talking all the time. Okay. Another thing, anytime I discuss a slide, you have any doubts, please use the raise hand option. I'm sure it is available on Zoom. Use the raise hand option so I can immediately resolve any doubts that you have. Okay. I hope it's clear. I'm going to start one by one of our topics. Okay. Now, let us go with the first question. Why do we, yes, Pooja, tell me, Pooja. Yes, Pooja, unmute yourself and tell me. Your hand is raised. Pooja?
Yes, ma'am. I was yes, ma'am. I was thinking I will raise the hand, so it will see the I am raising my hand. I was testing.
So she was testing. Now look at Pooja. She's 4 steps ahead of all of us. She actually tested the option to see if it works. Yes, the option works. I do pay attention when you raise your hand. Thank you, Pooja. That was something really fun. Okay. Now let's discuss why we need to have a good vocabulary. I've shortened vocabulary, it's a very long word, into vocab. You can shorten it to vocab in certain situations, not in formal writing as such. Okay. So let's see why. To speak fluently. Now, what does the word fluently mean? Can anybody answer? Please raise your hand. It's a very good chance as Pooja has shown us. Yes, Kavita. Oh, Kavita and Pooja. Okay, I'll give it a head to, oh my God, and Soma. Okay, I'll start with Kavita because I saw her first. Kavita, please unmute and tell. Oh my God, so many raised hands. We will go one by one, but Kavita, on you. You can tell me this time.
Ma'am, in my perspective, fluently speaking is speak flawlessly.
Yes, absolutely. Very well said, Kavita. Very good. And yes, so to speak flawlessly, to be extremely clear. Yes, Pooja. Yes, Soma. Please add if you want to add anything. Pooja, please, and then Soma, and then Bhavna. Oh my God, so many of you are raised. Okay, you'll all get a chance. Okay. Okay, Pooja, go ahead now.
Yes, fluent means it is very, very nice and good speaking, very fluently. Very nice.
Very good. Very good, Pooja. Thank you. Very nicely. Okay. Soma? Yes, very good. Thank you so much, Pooja. Soma, what are your thoughts? Soma, you're breaking. Your voice is breaking a lot. Please reconnect. There is some issue. Please I can't hear you, Soma. I'm very sorry. I can't hear you. Please reconnect again. Bhavna, can you please chip in your thoughts? Okay, all right. So as we have gotten a few perspectives, let us discuss what does fluently mean. Speak flawlessly, as Kavita said. Speak well. Yes, speak well. Yes, someone has added there. Good morning, Shiva. Okay. To speak fluently is to speak well. To speak very nicely, right? We don't say speak good. No, we use well because well is the adverb, right? It modifies speak. To speak well, to speak fluent.
Hello, ma'am.
Second one, to say the right things at the right time. Everyone knows how important it is, right? To always, yes, Smith. Who's talking?
Native, yes? To speak fluently means that native speaker like.
It is not just that, Smith. It is not just being a native speaker. Yes, a native speaker is more fluent, I agree. But if you study well, even you can also become fluent. It is not
Okay.
just a native speaker ka issue. A native speaker has it naturally. See, my mother tongue is Tamil, so I will speak Tamil very
Hello, ma'am. Your voice very crack.
speaking
Hello.
flawlessly, that is speaking correctly.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, ma'am. Your voice is
Yes.
great.
Okay, so when you speak correctly, when you are grammatically correct, okay, when you're grammatically correct, when you make your sentences properly, all of that comes under fluency.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, now I'm going to continue on. Thank you for raising your hand. Whoever didn't get a chance to speak, next time I will pick you on. Don't worry. Okay, to say the right is a right. Everyone knows how important it is because one wrong misstep could cause miscommunication, could cause misunderstanding, etc. To write well, of course, under communication, speaking and writing are very closely intertwined, right? Spoken and written communication, right? Once you do both together, you're good at speaking and writing. You can slowly become an effective communicator. Who is an effective communicator? Someone who is fluent, who writes well, who speaks well, comes across as an effective communicator. And to me, the last point is the most important point. To use one word where others would use five. I am a person who believes that, to be as brief as possible. Ahmad, your audio is. Ahmad, please mute yourself. Your audio is on. Right. So basically, to use one word where others would use five. So basically, what happens? Having a lot of words, okay, to having a lot of words, people would talk very long. They would make very long speeches. Yes, three participants have raised their hands. Yes, Bhavna, tell me. Yes, Bhavna. Bhavna, please unmute yourself and speak. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Mohan. Yes, Bhavna. Your hand is raised. That's why I asked.
No, ma'am, it's by mistake.
Oh, okay, okay. Don't worry. I'll just lower your hand then. Okay. Mohan, anything from your end?
Ma'am, last time, no, for fluently, I was raised this hand.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry. All right. All right. I'll just lower your hand then. Okay. Okay. All right. So, to use one word where others will use five. For me, this is very important. Effective communicators, you know what they do? They speak little, but then they say a lot. That is what to me is always effective communication. So, when someone is an effective communicator, they will use one word, but you will understand the meaning perfectly. This is why you need to have good vocabulary. Excuse me. I'm going to let some people in. So please give me some time. All right. Is this slide clear? Anyone has any doubts in this slide as to why we need good vocab? Does anybody have any points that they want to add? Yes, Pooja, tell me, your hand is raised. Tell me, and Mohan too.
We need a good vocabulary to speak very fluent, and we have to do not do mistake and write well. We speak well and write well in English. We become a fluency English. We spoke fluency English. We can write letter in fluency English. We become effective communicators.
Yes, we become good communicators. We speak English fluently.
Be in a business. We can be in a business. So
All right, very good, Pooja. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Okay, Mohan, your turn.
Yeah, ma'am. To use one word where others would use five. So
Yes.
can we have example on this next or?
For sure.
For example.
For sure.
Okay.
For instance, telling something like, very good. He's a very good person. How many words are you using over there? Very good. Instead of using the word very good, you can use the word he is a kind person. Right? In that kind of a perspective idea, instead of using common words like very good, it's a very fantastic thing, you use one word to relay your feelings. I hope that cleared up, Mohan. As we go on through the other slides, no, you will get more
Yes, ma'am.
clarity because I'm
Yes.
going to teach you words with meaning.
Ma'am,
Yes,
I want to give one example.
yes, go ahead.
Like if we want to say that if one person is very good and very good to giving anything to other persons, like if we can say that in this pandemic most of the people given so many foods to too many people, then we can say one word that he is an philanthropist person.
Yes, you just need to say he is an philanthropist because philanthropist itself
Philanthropist,
implies person.
altruist,
Yes, yes,
altruist.
very good. Yes. Vocabulary is very important for the charts you are showing. Okay. Okay. Right, Varinda. Okay, all right, noted. Okay. Anybody else, anything else in this PPT? Any doubt in this slide? Shall I go on to the next slide? Shall I go on? Anybody else have anything to say? Please, it's a good time. Bhavna has spoken, Pooja has also spoken. Anybody else? Okay.
I have
Pooja, tell me. Yes, Pooja.
is adult class or a children class?
It's mostly for adults, Pooja, because the topic is business vocabulary, but you can stay. You can stay and listen. Just see, you'll learn something new. Always give things a try. If you're bored, you can tell me. Okay, try it out. Okay, now let us see what are the different types of vocab that we will come into our daily life. You know, where we come face to face into our daily life. Now, remember, this is a very important thing because this is a very core concept. Okay, anytime you're learning a new language, we call it LSRW. Can you see? Listening, speaking, reading, writing. Once you master this, you master the language. The first skill is listening. You listen and you understand the other person, where you are able to respond to the other person. Third skill is reading, where you read another person's thoughts. Fourth skill, writing, where you are able to in a written format communicate with the other person. So imagine the kind of vocab you need to master. First, in the level of listening, so that you understand what the other person is telling. So that you understand that when another person uses some words, you should understand. Okay, your brain must be able to immediately correlate. Oh, Shweta is saying this. Shweta is talking about listening, speaking, reading, writing. This is what these words mean. Speaking. Anytime you speak back during this session, you are able to talk back to you. You are able to respond to, right? Fourth one, reading. Third one, reading, my bad. Anytime you read this PPT, you're using your vocabulary in action. And the fourth one is finally writing. We are in class. Pooja, I'm unaware of what. Okay, got it. So,
I was saying
that's
listening.
about it. Any doubt in this slide? Anybody? Please raise your hand if this is a good time. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next slide, which is why do we need business vocabulary? Why do we need business vocabulary? You are asking yourself, why is, yes, Pooja, yes, tell me. Yes, Pooja, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. I was telling that vocabulary is important. Ma'am, listening in our group class, we listen to each other communication. So it is listening skill, no?
Okay, your audio broke off. Varinder, what did you mean by speaking and writing? Okay, your audio went down. Please check it, Pooja. Okay, once you're ready, speak, okay? All right.
Okay.
So, all right.
I was saying
You were saying?
I was saying like listening skill. This is a group class, no? So we can
Yes,
listen
this is a group.
to
This is a
others.
workshop. Yeah.
Yes, we listen to other communication, and we can learn new things, new vocabulary like this, no, ma'am? That is a listening skill, no?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, that comes under listening. Varinder, what did you mean by speaking and writing? You want it to be explained? You have any doubts? Please unmute and speak like what Pooja did. Understand. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead to the next slide because I did not hear from you. Okay. Now let's discuss why do we need business vocabulary? You must be wondering, what is the point of this? Okay. So let us go through the points one by one to understand the nuances of your field. Now, what does the word nuances mean? The close reading to understand the important parts of your field. Yes, expression or meaning. Yes, that's what nuances means. A meaning, an expression. Okay. Second one, of course, as with any kind of vocab, to communicate effectively. Okay. Now let us discuss on what is business vocab. Business vocabulary is a combination of how people describe their business and their activities. So whatever field you're from, marketing, you're from technology field, you're from, kind of a teaching kind of a field, you will have your own sort of vocabulary. Krishna Kumar, I muted you. I'm sorry, there's a lot of background sound. Okay. It is intended to be the basis for formal and detailed natural description of a business. Now, the sentence looks very complicated, but I've written it to make you understand. It is a basis. What is intent? Thought to be the basis for a formal and detailed natural language description of a business. Basically, what does natural language description mean? Whenever someone in the same business meet together, they are able to understand each other perfectly. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, working in a business environment, one needs to keep up with the trends. That is why business vocab will keep growing, because we need to keep up with the trends. Not just business vocab, vocabulary in general also grows. With new trends that come up, new words are added to the English language. Words like selfie, recently the words like selfie were added. So many words are added. Any doubt in this slide? I know it's a little bit difficult. Any doubt, please raise your hand. I'm giving you ample opportunity to do that. Anything you want to add, please add right away. Anybody? Anybody? I'm going to move on to the next part of this slide. Inadequate business language skills result in poor communication and misunderstanding between co-workers or business partners. Suppose you are not able to keep up with the trends, you are not able to communicate very well. What happens? There is a misunderstanding, there is a miscommunication. Right? There is a misunderstanding, there is a miscommunication. What is misunderstanding? You are telling one thing, the other person understands it as something else. Right? It becomes who are co-workers? Your colleagues. Whenever you go to work, you have colleagues across different departments in the same department, or business partners, business clients. If you don't have proper business vocab, it becomes a huge issue nowadays. In order to climb up the career ladder with more ease and in a short period of time, you need to have competencies, business vocabulary. What is competency? Skill, the ability to use it effectively in order to climb up the career ladder. What is the career ladder? Promotions, going in from one position to the other, reaching a great height with more ease and in a short period of time. Yes. If you want to reach some amount of career success, your vocabulary must be top notch. What does top notch means? The very best. Now, any doubt in this section? Does anybody have any other points that you want to add regarding why do we need business vocab? Anybody? Anything? Since I didn't get anything, I'm going to go right ahead. Now let us go on to tips and tricks. Like I said, you will also be learning tips and tricks. What are tips and tricks? Sort of like a shortcut, sort of like some life hacks to help you become better with vocabulary. Okay. Now let us read the first point. Very important. Read and analyze business and editorial news stories. Yes, it is extremely important. Every day I will suggest read one article. If you are in a certain field, suppose you are in the field of marketing, read about one marketing article. Just a simple Google search will take you there. Every day, read one. When you read, you will automatically see new words. When you see new words, you can set a target to learn new words every day. Only when you start reading, you can set that target. Okay? Use the words you learn. Very important. It is important not just to learn new words, but to slowly start using them. Sometimes in your emails, sometimes in your phone conversations, sometimes with your colleagues, but start using them. There's no point in hoarding words. It does nothing. You have to use it for communication. It is not like money. Words have to be used. Yes, somebody on chat, tell me. Yes, I'm getting there, Soma. Don't worry. I'm getting there. Point by point, I'll go. Don't worry. I will clear everything for you. Watch documentaries and listen to podcasts. Now, what are documentaries? Documentaries are usually about serious things, wherein they talk about a certain issue. If it is an environmental issue, if it is a social issue, documentaries are quite serious. Listen to podcasts. Now, as Ajit said, it is a kind of a radio show, more or less. But what happens in a podcast, imagine all of us are sitting together. We are discussing on a topic. All of us together, we're discussing. I'm recording it. Okay. It becomes an audio file, right? After I record it. After that, I upload that recorded file on the internet. It becomes a podcast. That is what is called as a podcast. Yes. Soma, I hope this cleared it up. Please say. Please just add yes or a no. That will be fine. Okay. And all right. Okay. Anybody else needs to? You can add a yes or no in chat. I think your audio has some issues, Soma, so please feel free to use the chat. Share your knowledge with others at home. Yes, always. Again, like vocabulary and knowledge, no need to hoard it. Share it with as much people as you can, especially when it comes to vocabulary. You know why? Because the more you teach someone something, the better you learn it yourself. Suppose you learn a new word, share it with someone at home. Share it with, usually not with colleagues, because that becomes a professional sort of a relationship. With personal relationships, you can share. Join a workshop or a course. Now, this is a bit of a, sort of a ploy so that you guys keep attending these classes. Yes, because it is very good. It is very difficult to do things on your own. Now we are together almost, let us see, 44 people. So many different views, so many different perspectives. You also feel like sitting and listening. You think, oh my God, if so many people can make time on Sunday, even I should join. At least for that, do it. Always do it. Okay? Anything in this that I have to clear up, please. Good time to add. I always give you this buffer time wherein you can share your any doubts or anything. I can clear it then and there. Okay? All right, I'm going to get started. Okay, someone has said something on chat. Let me quickly check. Basic English say. I didn't get you, Shiva. You need to unmute and explain. I'm giving you 2 minutes time. If you can just do it in that time period, it will be good, or else I will go on. All right. Basic English say. I didn't understand what you mean. क्या बोल रहे हो समझ में नहीं आया ठीक है all right let's go on to the main topic that you all came for business vocab yes user raised their hand I think this is Ahmad if I'm not wrong please unmute and tell what you want to say please user please I'm asking you to unmute. Please unmute and speak. Yes. Unmute. Unmute yourself. Yes, tell me.
Normally, I acquired some words from somewhere, watching editorial and somewhere. But suppose you share me, last time you said, after the, you share any family members and improve your vocabulary. Then
Yes.
in that case, suppose I am staying in alone, but how can improve myself in that case?
That's why I've put this, no? Join a workshop or a course. You can share it here. See how many, when I asked what is the meaning of the word fluently, how many people raised their hand? They all were like, yes, I know it. They shared it, right? Oi, Bhuban, please don't do this. It's very bad. Please don't use this option. Very bad. Come on. It's not really nice. Please don't do that. Please don't do this. It's completely unprofessional, Bhuvan. Please don't use your option. Yes, of course, if English is weak, English weak है तो थोड़ा थोड़ा करके better बनाना पड़ेगा. Bhuvan, please delete what you have done. It's extremely bad. Have I cleared that out, Ahmed? You're sorted? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Smith. Please tell me your doubt.
Ma'am, also vocab improve watching English movie, English web series, and English news.
Yes, English news is, yes, it does. But when you say English web series, that's why when it comes to business vocab, you cannot say English web series as such. It depends on the web series. That's why I said documentaries, because English vocab is a little bit more, what do you say? It's a little, business vocab is a little bit more formal. Usually English web series uses a sort of casual language. That is why I have not added. News is fine. Yes, I agree. Documentaries is fine. I agree. I'm talking about business vocab. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
I hope that cleared it up, Smith.
Yeah, all clear.
Okay.
Thank
Monica?
Yes, actually, someone is asking about if he is alone and he has no one to talk, right?
Yes.
So I would just like to suggest that you can use the options of calling this call centers and you can speak in English. That is one way, because I used to try it earlier, so you can do that, I think.
That's there, but then you can't just call the call center like that, no, willy-nilly. I mean, the employees who work, it's very difficult to first of all speak to an employee. Call center, it is quite tough,
Yes.
To get the employee as such. Such a kind of workshop would work best. I think whoever please did this, Bhuvan, please delete it from your end. Who is Bhuvan? Kindly please raise your hand. Whatever you have done over here, it's not nice. Please delete it. Bhuvan? All right. I'm very sorry, but I can't seem to delete this at all from my end. I do not know why.
Well, I think you go back and again start. That I think it's removed.
Okay.
Now it's
Is this clear?
Yeah,
yes,
it's
clear.
normal.
Yes. Okay. Now let us go back to business vocabulary. The most important thing of the thing, what we are going to discuss about is business vocabulary. Before we start, let me introduce you to one word, which is called as terminology. Terminology is special words or phrases that are used in a particular field. That only if you're in that particular field, you will understand. Suppose I will not understand specific, if you're in engineering or if you are in sales, you have specific terms. If you use that on me, I will not be able to understand. That's why it is called terminology. The other synonyms to this word is jargon, lingo, and slang. Now, slang is also used when it comes to normal language. Suppose you're from a particular part of North India, you have your own slang. Slang means specific way of speaking. Yes, Alma, tell me. Unmute yourself.
Ma'am, please mute me.
Oh, yes, I'll mute you. All right, go ahead. Anybody else? Any doubt in this word? Because as we study, it is important to understand the meaning of the word terminology and jargon. Slang, of course, another meaning is when you are speaking a particular, when you're from a particular area, you'll have your own slang. For instance, I am from Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, there are many different ways in which Tamil is spoken. From Coimbatore has a very specific slang. When I listen to another person speaking Tamil, I can immediately understand. Yes, you're from Coimbatore. Yes, you're from this part of Tamil Nadu. It is what is called as slang. Any doubt? Any doubt, anybody? Please feel free to ask. Yes, on chart one person is saying. Jargon, lingo, same as terminology. They are synonyms. You can say technology jargon. Yes, you can say tech lingo. Yes, you can say. Yes, Mohan. Yes, tell me.
And topology also we can say in networking field. Topology.
Topology. Okay.
Topology.
All right. Makes sense. Okay. Very good. Very good, Mohan. Now, Ahmad, yes, tell me. What is it? You have raised your hand. Okay, you have looked at it. Okay. All right. Now, let us look at some terms. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next slide. Let us look at some terms. These are very important. I feel that people make a lot of mistakes in these. We're going to discuss work versus job versus career. When to use when to use which. Okay, let us look at the first word, work. Work is an activity in which you use effort or energy, normally to achieve a particular aim or task rather than for fun or enjoyment. Now, this is a quote that many of you would know. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Work is what? Calm. To put it simply in Hindi, it is calm. You're trying to achieve something. It is not very fun. Of course, it's not fun. Work is work at the end of the day. Now, that is work. It's a very general term. You can use it in a variety of ways. Now, job. Job is very specific. Okay? It is the name of your position. It is the name of the work that you do to earn money. For instance, my job is that I'm a spoken English trainer. You see what I mean? Job is always very specific. Now let's look at the examples of a job. Engineer, teacher, writer. Let's look at the first example I've written. I work for Lextute. It's very general. Yes, I work for them. I try to finish tasks for them. Now let's look at the second sentence. My job is to teach English and prepare content. Job, very, very specific. So please be careful when you use work and job. You can also use work when you're talking about your field in general. I work in the teaching field. Perfectly fine. But when it comes to my job, when it comes to a particular position, job is a must. Okay. Career is the total progression of your professional life. What is progression? All your experience comes under career. I have a career experience of almost 10 years. Complete progression of your work life comes under career. Any doubts, anyone? Anything that anybody wants to add? Good time to do so. Anyone? Okay, on it. I'm going to continue. Okay. Now let us go on to jobs. What kind of jobs people usually have? I'm sure anytime you see a job posting on LinkedIn, Naukri, Indeed, so many others, I don't even want to say, they'll have these words, full-time job. What is a full-time job? Is for the whole of the normal working week. What is the working week? Technically, Monday to Saturday in India. Abroad, it is usually Monday to Friday. It changes from company to company, of course. Some companies say you can take your leave any time in the week. So that means your working week is a little bit different. Please keep that in mind. A part-time job is for less time than that. Full-time is usually 8 hours. Usually. It changes from company to company. I'm talking about a usual scenario. Part-time is like 4 to maximum 5 hours. Part-time. You say that someone works full-time or part-time. Yes, that is something that you say. Now let us look at two other concepts as well, permanent job and temporary job. Many times I'm sure we have heard from our parents, government job is always so permanent. No, a government job is so permanent. All these small companies, it's all temporary job. What is a permanent job? It does not finish after a fixed period. It goes on for years and years. A temporary job, it finishes after a certain period of time. Okay, now let us look at another set of people, freelancers. Now these are independent people who work for several companies. They are not with one company. They find, what do you say, part-time work or temporary jobs for several companies. It's never permanent for them. They are
Ma'am,
free. Yes, Smith Patel.
ma'am,
Yes.
freelancers mean that one particular project to get and complete the project and finish the other company joining. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So what do? They're independent. What do? Suppose I am a freelancer. Okay, Smith, I'm a freelancer. I get a contract from Tata, work for 6 months, finish the project, Tata, bye-bye. I am
okay.
done. My job is done. That's why I use the word independent. They are not working part-time nor full-time. They are independent people. They will work with specific companies and go. That's it. Any
Okay,
doubt
thank
in
you.
all, any of this? No
No,
worries.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wants to add anything? Good time, you can speak, okay? All right. Now let us go on. Some ways to describe your job. Whenever somebody says, tell me about your job, please tell me about the kind of work that you do. How would you describe it? You need to have some good words, no? You need to have some words way to describe what kind of work you do. I'm not talking about I do this task, that task. Fine, all that is good. But what kind of work do you do? How is it? How do you feel as an employee at the end of the day? That is why I want you to use these words. Okay, so listen carefully. All these words are used in front of job and work. Okay, suppose somebody asks you, what kind of work do you do? How is your job? Balashai, please do not do this. It is extremely, please don't use the annotate option. Please have a pen and paper. All right. Satisfying, stimulating, fascinating, exciting. Suppose you really love your job. How do you say? You say, my work is very satisfying. Satisfying means complete. It makes me feel complete. It is amazing. It's very stimulating. Stimulating means what? Every day I learn new things. I feel very active. It is very fascinating. It is very interesting. Instead of saying interesting, you can use the word fascinating. You can use the word exciting. You can use different words. Okay? So it gives you positive feel. Now, usually when these are positive feelings, now we have to also talk about negative feelings. Whenever you feel a little bit dull, you feel that the job is demotivating, you will say it's very dull, it's very boring, it's very uninteresting, it's very unstimulating, it's dead end. Now, what is a dead end? You cannot go further in a dead end, right? Dead end is a stop. Can't go any further. That is why use that, if at all you feel that. But as much as possible in your business vocab, you wouldn't use these words. That is why I'm giving you the vocab, but in some places I'll tell you not to use, so that you have the knowledge. Okay? Anybody else, any doubts? All right, let us continue. Repetitive, routine. Suppose you have been doing the same things over and over. We have seen in many movies, the hero goes to work, he'll sit like this, he will work. Becomes repetitive. Bar, again and again. Routine, like a daily routine. Things that you do regularly. Soma, we will get there. Like I said, I will do each and every point. You don't have to worry. That is the last point. I will get there. Don't worry. Okay? Suppose the work is very difficult. Very difficult to you. At least you have too much work pressure. Too many things at the same time. You will say it's very tiring. It is very tough. It's very tiring. Tiring means what? I can't manage. I feel very tired. Tough, difficult. Hard, again, difficult. Demanding, it takes a lot of my time. It takes a lot of my time. The work is difficult and makes you tired. Any doubts in these 4 points? Okay, let us go on to the last point. This is the kind of point that all of us would love to say, which is when you earn a lot of money. The work is giving you a good amount of money. You're very happy. You say, I work a very lucrative job. Lucrative means I make a lot of money. The work brings in a lot of money. I work a very high powered job. High powered means high position, right? If it's high position, obviously you're earning a lot. So that is what lucrative means. I hope it has cleared up, Soma. I hope your doubt is cleared up. Anybody else, any other words that you have used in your life, feel free to add. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next slide. If anything, please feel free to add. Okay, now, yes, Umesh. Yes, please unmute yourself and speak.
I think there is one kind of job also. It's
Yes.
a sinecure kind of job. Sinecure. It's mean more
is it?
less work and more salary. We can add it in your slide.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. Yes, please add it on the chat. See, this is why I love workshops. He brought us a new word. Please add it on the chat box so that everyone can also see, so that he can also, everyone else can see. Umesh, please take the time to just add it on the chat box. Umesh has given us a new word in which it means the job is less, but the money is more. It's a smart kind of a work. Umesh, please add it on the chat so everyone else can also see it. Please.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Yeah.
All right. Yes, do it right away so that everyone else can see because we just discussed it. Okay. Now let us look at work and career. Thank you, Umesh. Thank you for giving me a new word. Always. All right. Let's look at work and career. So now, how do you talk about your work and career? Right? How do you talk about it? Now you know the difference between work and career. I'm very sure of it. That's why I am taking this. Suppose how do what do you say? Work at, yeah, work for. Both are correct. I work at, let's do it. I work at Tata Consultancy. I work for Tata Consultancy. So you can use at, yeah, for whenever you're talking about the company. Umesh has added the word on chat. Kindly please take it down, everybody. Yes, discuss the word as well. Okay. Suppose you're working on a project or a task, you will say working on. I'm working on a report. Remember, it is always important to learn these kind of very small, minute things because here is where we make mistakes. I've noticed many people say, I work in whatever company. For instance, I work in Jinnah. I work at, yeah, I work for. Please mind all of these minute things because do a lot of things for your professional success. Okay. When you have a project or a task, you will say, I'm working on a project. Always on. When you're talking about people, you're talking about your team, you say, I work with a time. I'm very strong, very sort of an active sort of enthusiastic team. When you talk about objects, suppose you work with equipment. Okay? I work with expensive equipment. Always you will use with. So now do you see the difference? I want you to be very clear on these things because over here is where people make a lot of mistakes. Okay. Embark on a career. Okay. It means embark is like a very sort of a very hopeful word. Instead of saying begin, you can use the word embark. I want to embark on a career in teaching. See the difference. Pursue a career. Same thing, similar to embark. Pursue means you have that itcha. I want to pursue a career in technology, in the technical field. Absolutely, you can say. Okay. Suppose you are very happy with your job. Remember, you learned some words of that. It's very stimulating. You say this is a very, when somebody asks you, shall I also join? Suppose you are someone who has had a lot of jobs, someone who has had a lot of experience. You will say, yes, I've had a varied career, sorry. I have an experience in so and so field. Now, this one is very important, one that we always use. usually use when it comes to interviews. What are the career prospects for this job? What is the career prospect? What is career prospect? Opportunity. What opportunities will I get if I join this job? What are my career prospects? This is also the question parents ask us anytime we finished our college. The first thing is, what is the career prospect of this degree? What are the career opportunities? Switch your career. Now, suppose you want to switch from content writing to, what do you say, social media marketing. So you will tell them, yes, I want to switch my career. I want to switch my career. Your career, my career, whatever a sort of pronoun you want to add, you can add. Okay, this is just an example over here. Career takes off. Suppose you're doing very well at work, you will say, yes, my career seems to be taking off. You will be optimistic. Optimistic means what? Positive. Very positive. Any doubt in any of these? Anything that you want me to clarify, please tell me. Like I said, these are minute things that you need to be very clear about. Anyone? Okay. And also one more thing, the session might go along a little bit more. Is everyone okay with that? Shall I extend the session till say 12:15 and above? Will that be okay with all of you? If you have any problem, please let me know because I have some more content that I want to share. That is fine. Okay. If at all it is too much, please add it on chat or you can just raise your hand. If someone has added. Okay, Kavita is okay. Thank you, Kavita. All right. Now we are going to read something. Can I have a volunteer, please? I love to get people to read things. Please raise your hand if you're interested. The first person I see, I will let them read. Please be open because it's a workshop. Umesh, very good. Thank you so much. Umesh is going to go ahead. Mohan, I'll give you the next time round. Mohan, Kavita, next time round. Okay, don't worry. I have some more reading lined up. Don't worry. I have lots of reading lined up. Umesh, please go ahead. Unmute yourself and go ahead.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable, you can also switch on your video. Either way works.
I will, ma'am. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. To read, the process of finding people for particular job is recruitment. Someone who has been recruited is a recruit. The company employs or hires them. They join the company. A company may recruit employee directly or use outside recruiters or employment agencies. Outside specialties called headhunters may be called on to headhunt people for very important jobs, persuading them to leave the organizations they already work for. This process is called headhunting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Umesh. Pooja, I saw your message. Don't worry. As long as possible, please do stay. Okay, that's all I would say. If you have classes, don't worry. Thank you, Umesh, for the wonderful reading. And as Umesh has read, I am just going to describe the words. Thank you so much. I really appreciate people who take up the first step. And next, Mohan and Kavita, you will be reading the next two slides. Okay. Okay. Now, what is recruit? Already, instead of just giving the word and the meaning, I thought let's have something to do so that you understand directly. What is recruitment? The process of finding people for a particular job. Suppose you are the owner of a company. You want to find someone, so hire someone to become a social media specialist. So you will recruit. The process is called recruitment. Okay. In this process, you find someone, you find a person. That person is called as a recruit. So this is a new recruit, or you use the word hire. The word recruit or hire can be used. Yes, we use it. Recruitment means, okay, recruitment means the process, it's rightfully given. Finding people for a job. I hope that cleared it up. I can't read, I don't know your name, but I hope that cleared it up. Finding people for a particular job. When you want to hire someone for a particular job, that was what comes under recruitment.
You can add a department as well, HR department, so other can.
I'll get that. Yes. HR department. Yes.
Hire people.
See, HR department hires people, but you have to also notice that many companies also use outside recruiters. I'm talking about very, very large companies. They have outside specialist organizations. There are specialist organizations, specialist HR consultancy services who will hire it for them. That's why they're called as employment agencies. So what do you do? What do employment agencies do? They already have a contract from a company, okay, and the employees can apply directly to them. Okay. Nowadays, this has changed a lot because employment agencies have shifted online. Whenever you have your LinkedIn, your Monster, Indeed, all of these are in paper employment agencies, on paper. Yes, Bhuban, before you leave, I will give you some time to take screenshots of every slide. Don't worry. If I will give you time, don't worry. Now let us continue. Before you leave, I'll give you 5 minutes to take screenshots. Okay. Now we are talking about so this is for normal position. Suppose it's for very high position. Okay. Now what if or Elon Musk, he wants to find a very high powered executive. He wants to find the next CFO of Tesla Motors. What will he do? He will go to a headhunter. Deepa, sorry, anybody, please mute yourself. Okay. So he will go to a headhunter. What does a headhunter do? They are in touch with very high level people. They will only find opportunities for high level people. So what do? They will go to them, they will speak to them, they will convince them. So you see many people in the high level position, they leave one company and they switch to the other. Behind the scenes is a headhunter who's there convincing them to do this and that. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Any doubts? Any doubts? Please tell me. Okay. And next slide. First, I will have Mohan read, and then the slide after that Kavita will read. So Mohan, please go ahead and read this slide. You can unmute yourself, you can switch on your video, and please read this slide.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Employment. Bonus, additional pay given to employees as incentive or reward. Curriculum YT, short account of one's education, career, CV, resume. Dismiss, to remove or discharge from employment. Employer, person or firm who employs people. Employee, person employed. Fire, to dismiss.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mohan. Wonderful of you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now let us discuss the words. I'm sure the first word is the most exciting word that any of us will hear: bonus. When you get an additional pay. But why is it given? As an incentive. What is an incentive? Sort of like a reward. You have done very good work. The organization understands, they appreciate it, and they say here is an incentive. It's very nice. Okay, sometimes you get bonuses, maybe if you have worked for a very long time because of your loyalty, you do get a bonus. And sometimes you, for a lot of reasons, it's not just job performance, a lot of things also come into the picture. Now this one is very important, curriculum vitae. Very good pronunciation on that one, very good. We call it CV. We also call it resume. Two ways of pronouncing it, resume and resume. Two ways of pronouncing it, but usually we stick to this one. Usually. But most companies also nowadays, most things online also stick to this. Now what is this? This is your entire career history. In a resume or a CV, you have your contact name, contact details, your experience, so and so years I worked here, your kind of skills that you have, etc. All of this will come under the. Okay, ma'am, difference between incentive and stipend. Okay, incentive, like I said, is for very good work. What is stipend? Stipend is, suppose you're interning somewhere. Suppose you're intern, or you have a very sort of a freelance sort of a job. Stipend is a small amount of money which is given to cover your living expenses. To cover a specific expense is what comes under stipend. Okay. a stipend towards maybe transportation, stipend towards living expenses, a stipend towards getting something done. I hope you all have heard of Teach for India. There they give stipend to employees to buy materials. That is what comes under stipend. Okay. I hope that cleared it up, Ajit. Anything else, please let me know, anyone. Okay. Dismiss. This is a very sad word. Dismiss means remove or discharge from employment. When you fire someone, you tell them, I don't want you to work here anymore. You fire someone. But it is not the right word. Okay, Pooja, go ahead. Go ahead. We will miss you. Please go ahead. I hope you can join us for the next session. It was wonderful having you here, having a young mind here. Okay. Dismiss is to remove or discharge from employment when you remove someone from work. Okay. Now, who's an employer? The person who works. Who's a person who was hired. Suppose you work for a company, the company is the employer. Who's the employee? The person who is working for the company. Now, fire, this is a very colloquial. The full form of this is colloquial. What is a colloquial? A very informal term. Informal term used to dismiss. Okay. And let us do the final slide. Please go ahead, Kavita. Your turn to read. I hope you are here, Kavita.
Yes, ma'am. I am here.
Please unmute yourself and read. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Employment. An oral examination of an applicant for a job. Make reductant made to dismiss because of not being needed. Maternity, period of absence from work when having a baby. Notice advance warning of intention of resign. To give or tender one's notice. Work something additional to regular salary. Free meals, a car.
Very good. Thank you. So, an interview is an oral examination. Suppose you are an applicant who has applied for a job, you will give an interview. I'm sure all of us are aware, you give your CV, you sit in front of a HR person, they grill you with questions. What have you done? What did you do? Why do you want to join this job? One day we will have all of these kind of an interview skills as well. Make redundant. Now, redundant is a very powerful word. Redundant means not required anymore. Now, this is a fear many people have. They feel that when robots and when automation comes into the picture, human beings will be made redundant. Redundant means they are not required. If a robot can do the job, why would they hire a person? So we use the word make redundant, yeah, made redundant. Past form. Yes, so I'll give you a chance, don't worry. Maternity or paternity leave. Suppose a person has had a child, a baby. They give them maternity leave. Suppose if it's a woman, maternity. If it is a man, paternity. Nowadays, I have to discuss this. I think it is important that everybody knows. Paternity leave is something that is slowly coming into the picture. In the beginning, they only had maternity. But nowadays, children have two parents. So even the father has to get some off. It is called as paternity leave. These are usually a sort of when the employees work for a very long time. It's a very good arrangement. It gives the parents the time to recover and raise the child. Okay. Now, suppose you're going to resign. You found another job. You're leaving the country. Whatever may be the reason, some personal reason, you give a notice. Okay. There is a very famous English movie called as 2 weeks notice. But in India, we give a month's notice. Suppose you want to resign on the month of June. You tell this month. I'm sorry, I'm muting people who are making noise because for the good of the other 38, I have to do it. Okay. So you will give an advance notice. You will say, I'm sorry, I will be resigning. This is called as, you always say to give a notice or to tender a notice. Tender also means give, a very formal way of saying give. So give an advance warning. You are telling the company, I'm going to resign. I will work for 1 month. Why do you need to say this? In that 1 month, if a new person is hired, it is your responsibility to train the other person. One thing, whatever tasks or projects that you have to take, you have taken up, you have to finish it in that 1 month. This is called as a, that is called as a notice period. Once you have given the notice and the company is accepted, we accept, you will be leaving by 9th June will be your last working day. So they will say this is your notice period. 9th June to 9th May to 9th June is your notice period. Perk. It's a very nice word. The perk is, of course, a very famous chocolate, I do know. But perk over here means something additional to a regular salary. Suppose you work for a big MNC, you get free food, you get free transportation. All of that comes under perks. Okay. Now I want to ask you all something. You guys don't mind staying, no, till 12:15 or anything, because I have a few more slides that I want to complete, because this is a two-parter business vocabulary, part 1 and part 2. We're doing part 1 this week. Next week we will do the second part. Okay. So Soma, you said you wanted to read. Please read. Soma, please unmute yourself and read. I'm giving you a chance. Please read.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please read the slide.
Corporate.
Please read.
Relating to a large company, corporate culture shared values in a company. Corporate ladder level to climb to research success in a company. Corporate headquarters location where key business persons are located. Corporate logo symbol that represent a company. Corporate image, a company reputation. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, thank you, Soma. A company's reputation. Okay, be careful when you read, and levels to climb to reach success. Okay, good work, Soma. Very good work. Glad to see your enthusiasm. Everyone who read. Thank you so much, all of you. Now let us look at the word corporate. We all say, no, I work for a large corporate. If you say these words, parents will just go to high heaven if you tell that you work for a corporate. Relating to a large company. Things like MNCs all come under this banner. Now I have some words that I want to share. Corporate culture. What is a corporate culture? Suppose you have a company. I'm just taking a company that everybody knows. A company like Reliance, right? Reliance Tata, where the corporate culture is the values of the company. Please mute yourself soon. Too much sound. Corporate culture is the values shared by all the people in the company. What everyone thinks in the company comes under corporate culture. How the working culture is, how are people happy? Is the job satisfying for them? Do people have some ethics? Do people have some sort of culture that comes under corporate culture? Now, what is corporate ladder? We saw this. We saw the fact that it is the corporate ladder is like a term used to imply all of the steps that you need to climb to reach corporate success. Sunil, please switch off your video. Kind request, please switch off your video. Corporate headquarters. Sunil, please अपना video बंद कर देना. Thank you. Thank you. Corporate headquarters is like the main branch. The head office comes under corporate headquarters. What is corporate logo? I'm sure this everyone is aware of. Nike ka logo, Adidas ka logo, all those. It's like a symbol. It's like a symbol that represents the company. Every company has a logo nowadays, because that is what is eye-catching. The moment you see the logo, you're like, this is what the company is all about. It's very tied in with the thing of the company. Corporate image is company's reputation. I'm sure we have heard in many movies, like, hamara company ka image, company's reputation. Every corporate, because it's a very huge company with a very large number of employees, they're worried about the reputation as well. That is why employees need to have a very good sort of work ethic. They need to have very good corporate culture. It's because of that. Okay, I am going to stop it here for today. Okay, but It is not yet over. Next week, we will continue the same thing. We will continue and we will finish the second part of business vocabulary because it is not possible to cover in one session. I'm sure all of you have noticed. It is quite a vast topic. Okay. Now is a good time for you to voice out, tell me things, ask any doubts. Collectively, please feel free to ask, but don't leave the session. That is something I beg of you because I have some more information to share. Okay. As we are in the session, I would like to share our Let's Tute webpage. Of course, I have to talk about the number of courses that we have and the number of courses that we are working on right now. Okay. So we have a wide variety of courses, as everybody knows. You know about our spoken English courses, you know about our professional courses on Excel, Tally, accounting. We have group sessions, we have one-to-one session, and a very special one open for housewives or homemakers if you prefer. So if anyone is interested, kindly, please let them know, or please drop their contact details here. We will get in touch. We have a lot of the homemakers course is very unique. It is tailored specifically for homemakers so that they can deal with their own special challenges. If you have any children and you're willing to put them in any summer sort of a class, we have arts and craft classes. Very important at a very reasonable prices, as you can see. You have acrylic paints, you have calligraphy, etc. And last but not least, we have our magazine. I hope everyone got to read it. I'm going to add a link over here so you can read it.